Hello, I'm Dr Teresa Swist, a researcher with the Young and Resilient Research Centre and Institute for Culture and Society at Western Sydney University. In this presentation, I will share my learnings about the scenario planning method and how I've applied it to my research to explore young people's perspectives of digital health futures. I'll begin with a description of what scenarios are, their purpose, how it's done, and its potential to contribute to new knowledge. Next, I'll explain how this method aligns with my project aim and research question. Let's begin by unpacking what scenarios are. Scenarios are created with stakeholders to identify future possibilities. And this focus on possibilities means that they are not predictions about one future or a single pathway. Scenarios are meant to spark our imagination. They can be wild and unlikely, and this is valuable because they can help us to notice things which have been previously ignored or hidden about the different forces which shape the future. However, they must also be plausible in the sense they link somehow to the present, so that they can pragmatically challenge assumptions and inform decision making. From learning about this method, my interpretation of scenario planning is as follows. The purpose of scenario planning is to help identify future challenges and opportunities about complex issues using a systems thinking approach. For example, exploring the interrelationship between healthcare, technology and society, in contrast to examining these issues in isolation. So, how is it done? Scenario planning is a qualitative participatory method which explores perspectives of diverse participants to generate a range of future scenarios or possibilities. And this is achieved by using a variety of brainstorming and mapping activities. For example, generating ideas with young people who are traditionally not included in long-term or strategic planning. Also, scenario planning contributes a systems thinking approach to new knowledge, which can inform shared learning and decision making about rapid social, technological and ecological change. For example, reframing adolescent health research policy and practice with young people, which may challenge or unsettle traditional approaches to researching health and well-being. In this slide, I'd like to share how this method corresponds to my project aim and research question. The project aims to explore young people's perspectives of digital health futures and develop scenarios for shared learning and decision making across adolescent health research policy and practice. The accompanying research question is, how do young people envision possible futures about the interrelationship between healthcare, technology and society? The selected research method was scenario planning, and I conducted 2 workshops with Y commissioners to co-create scenarios which informed the illustrations created by Gerard, a Y commissioner, plus the accompanying short stories I wrote. This method helped to generate insights such as a map of stakeholders and systemic forces shaping digital health, plus the interrelationship between healthcare, technological, social and ecological change. Our synthesis of workshop insights has led to the creation of 3 scenarios with accompanying illustrations and short stories, and a journal article is currently in progress. In closing, key learnings I'd like to share with you about scenario planning are as follows. First, the method was identified from my narrative review as a creative and critical way to examine emerging technologies and health systems alongside implications for health research with young people. The method was selected for my study because it had a very strong alignment with the project aim and question, And our team was keen to trial and test the scenario planning method with the WH&Y Commission so that we could co-create scenarios about healthcare futures. A key driver of this was to inform researchers, policymakers in the development of major grants. Finally, and most importantly, this method is extremely valuable because we need to know what futures young people think we should strive towards, avoid, and create together. Here are some links by Matt Finch, a scenario planning specialist, which provides a great introduction to this particular method. I'd also like to thank Matt Finch for his helpful advice and conversations about scenario planning. To finish, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to play this presentation. If you'd like to chat more about this method or have any questions, please do get in touch.